You're good.
Oh, it goes. Okay, would you look at that? Hi, you guys. So those of you guys who don't know me, well, first of all, thanks for getting on. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Katie Muntz. I am a 200K. I'm under Kristen, but I'm not under Michaela. So we're like different sides of Kristen. But we decided, to collaborate and bring like your guys' team Zoom and my team Zoom together. That way you guys could hear from me and my leaders, and my team could hear from Michaela and her leaders, and Kristen and the other leaders on Kristen's team. So we thought it would be super cool to just kind of collaborate. That way everybody can hear from everybody else. So I asked my specific team things that maybe they wanted to hear about, or things that they were struggling with, or they would love to learn about. And a lot of them said that they have a hard time not only building their network, but connecting with the people that they are building their network with, creating genuine relationships, having conversations with them. At what point do they introduce the product in the business? Do they ever introduce the product in the business? And if it comes up into a conversation, how do they seal the deal? So we're going to talk about that tonight. Brittany Haynes is going to help me. She's an ADK on my team, and Facebook is her jam. She's amazing at Facebook. More lately, I have been branching off into Instagram. So she's going to talk to you about how she builds her network on Facebook, how she brings them into her circle, creates friendships with them, and gets them on the products, should that arise. And I'm going to talk about how I do that on Instagram. So Brittany, are you on? I saw your face, Brittany.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on. I'm trying to start Kathleen's TV show, so she'll leave me alone.
Are you good? You want me to just go?
Go ahead and go and let me get her TV show started.
Okay, so like I said, you guys, my big thing, I love Instagram. I used to build on Facebook, and to be honest, I still do build on Facebook. I'm just not as active on Facebook anymore as I once was. I'm very, very active on my Instagram, and I actually have like a strategy on how I add to my Facebook. So what I do is I don't add people to Facebook. Like I do not send friend requests on Facebook. So what I do is I actually grow my network a lot on Instagram. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but you can take things that are about you. So for me, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, certain, characteristics or certain things about my life. Like Brittany is a firefighter wife. Maybe you love crafting, you love cooking, you have dogs, you're an army wife, you love Instant Pot. Literally anything that could describe you. You can actually search those hashtags on Facebook or Instagram. Sorry, you can search those hashtags on Instagram, and you can follow like-minded people. You can follow people who have that common ground with you, because when you're thinking about building a relationship, you're going to be able to build a relationship much, much quicker if you're growing your network full of people who already have common ground, or who already have, the same interests. Like if I'm a cat lover, I'm not gonna be able to more easily build a relationship with somebody who loves dogs, because we're just on opposite sides of the spectrum here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go find cat lovers. So for me, my niche is moms and stay-at-home moms. I love Instant Pots. Instant Pots are my jam. A search that I've done recently on Instagram was Amazon Prime Mom or Amazon Mom. I love Bath and Body Works. I love online shopping of any sort. If you guys follow me on Facebook, you know that I'm forever buying things online. Those are the things that I'm going to go look for, and I'm going to follow them on Instagram. So after that, I don't really scroll through my Instagram feed much. I'm a little guilty of not scrolling through my feed, but I do interact in my stories a lot. So I will watch people's stories, and I'll get into their inbox by going through their stories. So if they post a picture of their kids, I'll say they're so cute, or where'd you get that dress? I'm looking for new summer clothes for my daughter for this summer. If they post food, or because I follow people who use Instant Pots, I'll be like, hey, do you have the recipe for that? Because I'm looking into new recipes for the Instant Pot. So I will get in people's inboxes through their stories like that. And then how I get them in my inbox is, I will share. So what I do on my actual Instagram page, and this is what works for me. Again, hopefully it works for you, but you might have to tweak it, do whatever is more authentic to you. My actual Instagram page, I don't talk about my products. And I very rarely talk about the business. Now I do sprinkle them in there. Like I'm not I'm not like in the Secret Service where I'm like, guess what company I'm with. Like, I'm not about that life. I don't mind people knowing that I'm with Lavelle. I want people to know that I'm a Thriver, but I don't throw it up on people. So my actual feed is things that are valuable, things that are going to inspire or educate or motivate, you know, talking about my anxiety and my depression and helping moms get through that. Because again, I'm friends with a lot of moms. So I'll talk about postpartum depression and how I got through that. I'll post things that are of value, and I will use hashtags on my posts. That's, you know, I only do between like 10 and 20. I don't go absolutely crazy. I think it's ridiculous. I'm scrolling on Instagram and someone's got like 70 or like the max amount of hashtags. I'm like, whoa, girl, extra like what? So I don't use that many hashtags, but I do use some hashtags because a lot of the ways that I find people to follow is by hashtags. I'm not the only one that searches hashtags. So if I hashtag anxiety mom or instant pot or, you know, whatever it is, other people are going to be looking for that same thing, and they're going to come across your page that way. So I've gotten followers from that. So I post valuable content on my page. Now in my stories, every single day I'm sharing in my stories my life. And remember that stories are for stories, okay? So yeah, it's all fine and dandy if you are sharing little snippets of your day and your stories, but you have to remember that stories are for stories. Okay, so you're got to be telling a story. Even if it's something as simple as snapping a picture in the car and saying, going into Target, pray for me. Okay, and then you post a little video of you walking through Target, post a picture of something cool on the shelf and be like, do I really need this, you know? And then post another picture when you got back in the car and be like, I only bought one thing I didn't need. I'm so proud of me. Like, you told a little story. You want to grab people's attention with your stories, okay? And then I'll throw in every single day without fail, I share at least one of my 3 steps. And if there's ever a day where I don't share my 3 steps, it's because I'm talking about the opportunity instead. And I always end those things like with a poll, like, are you in, like, I'm interested, or I want more information, or message me, or something along those lines. I actually use the Unfold app when I'm telling stories about the business or the products like that. So it's kind of more clean cut and it looks nice. So I will use polls, and I will get them, I will message them through the poll, and that is how I bring them to my Facebook. So I will bring them onto my Facebook if they're interested. So they voted on the poll. They said that they voted on it. They said they want more information. Or, hey, sometimes they don't even vote on my poll. They just message me directly and they said, what do you do? So if you come to me and you are interested, or I've talked to you and you voted on one of my polls and you are interested, I am getting you on Facebook every single time. And what that does is that verifies to me that every single person I've added on Facebook is a potential. Every single person on my Facebook is a potential. I know they are because I've already talked to them about it. And I have my link right in my bio on Instagram for my Facebook. So I'm like, hey, do you mind adding me? My link's right there. So it takes away any confusion, or can you find me? This is what my picture is. Let me see if you can search me. Try this. And this, no, my link is right there, and I have them add me. So that is how I grow my network and how I bring people into my circle. And just from there, you guys, I genuinely am their friend. I have notes that I haven't even looked at. I genuinely am their friend, and I make sure that I'm posting on Facebook the same things that I use to get their attention on Instagram. So if I'm talking on Instagram about cats, and then I bring them to my Facebook and I'm dogs, they're gonna be like, what the heck? Like, this is not why I followed her. This is not what I was interested in. So I keep them the same. So my Facebook, again, is educational, inspirational, putting value out there, and the same thing with my stories. So, and then I just build relationships with them, you guys. I get into their inbox through the stories. And when it comes to them being interested, I will assume the sale every single time. I will never say, hey, do you think you'd be interested in ordering? Or this is how much it costs. Is that okay? What do you think? Let me know. I don't do any of that. I assume the sale every single time. Example, somebody says, yeah, hey, I voted on your poll about wanting a mini experience. I will say, great. So you can get 3 days for $25, or you can get 6 days for $45. Which one sounds best to you? And that's just what I charge. I mean, I know people who charge $20 for 3 days or $50 for 6 days, whatever works for you, you know, do your thing. But I'll say, great, you know, it's $25 for 3 days, $45 for 6 days. Which one's best for you? I don't say, does that sound okay? Let me know if that works for you. which one's best for you. I assume the sale. I'm going to assume that they're going to order, or they're going to buy a mini, or they're going to buy products. Because the second that you make it awkward, girlfriend, they feel it. They feel that awkwardness. Let me tell you, in this industry, they can read us like books, you guys. We are literally, they can see right through us. So if you think your price is too much, they're going to feel that. If you think it's an awkward conversation, they're going to feel that. Kristen, they are going to feel everything that you put off in that conversation. So you need to go into it. You need to assume the sale. Know that your products are worth the value. They're worth every single penny. That what you have is amazing. The business opportunity is phenomenal. The products are life-changing, and that you are doing them a favor by helping them get these products in their hands. So be confident in that. When you're wavering in your confidence in these products, you guys, they can feel it. They can absolutely feel it. And if you are unsure, they're going to be unsure, and they're going to order from somebody who is more sure than you. So that's what I do, start to finish. Brittany, are you still on here?
Yeah, I am. My phone wouldn't unmute it.
Oh, okay. So Brittany is like the Facebook flipping queen. Brittany is like, her middle name should be Groups, like Brittany Groups, because she is
I'm a groupie.
She's a groupie for real. So Brittany builds on Facebook, so whenever you're ready.
Okay, so a lot of times people ask me like how I add friends on Facebook without going through like randomly suggested friends and just adding a bunch of people. That is something that I do not do, because most of the time people in your suggested friends, they're going to be people from Lavelle, or they're going to be people that you have like 180 mutual friends with. And I really try to stay away from people who even have like more than 10 to maybe at the max like 30 mutual friends with me, because if they don't have any mutual friends with you, that means you're growing your network outside of anybody that you have friends in common. So more than likely, they probably have not heard of Lavelle, and they don't know what you do. So I also try to stay away from adding other network marketers, just because everybody is always like lifer. So I really try to get people that are not in other network marketing companies. And like Katie said, I always add people that are like me. So the way that I add is and make new friends and build relationships is through groups. 99.999% of the promoters that I sign are from groups. And I have added myself in tons of groups. I have anxiety. I'm a fire wife. I'm a dog mom. I'm a DIYer. I'm a girl mom, just a mom of toddler, like whatever. Those are the only types of groups that I add myself to. And I stay extremely active. And when I say like really active, I mean, I'm in the groups like all day. I don't just sit on my phone all day and like, scroll, but I'll check in and get my phone for like 10 or 15 minutes and go through and like comment on a couple things that other people have posted. One tip that I do is when I add myself into a new group is I always introduce myself and tell my story. So that way people start commenting on your stuff. People know that you're new. People know that you're in the group. If you're silent in these groups and you're not talking to people, you are not going to make friends. It's kind of like if you are in network marketing, if you're in this company, you need to be on Facebook or on some kind of social media platform every single day. If you are not posting or you're not talking to people, then your business isn't open. So if you're walking by a boutique or whatever and the doors are closed, then no one's going to come to you. So if you are not active, you don't have to post 5 times a day, and you don't have to even post on Facebook every single day, but you need to be in your stories or on Facebook or building relationships every single day of your business. So I'm going to kind of like walk y'all through exactly like one of my scenarios on how I add people in groups. I do not go through and just click add, because 1, you're going to be blocked from that group. 2, you're not making any kind of friends with those people. So you're just adding random people that are going to be a waste of space on your social media. So I'm going to use my Fire Wife group for an example. You add yourself in there. You're going to, tell everybody like, hey guys, I'm new. I've been a fire wife for 3 years. My husband and I are high school sweethearts. I'm a toddler mom. We have dogs. This life is extremely hard. I share my struggles, whatever. And people start commenting and they're like, hey, welcome. And then you want to, you want to start building relationships with those people and just start talking back and forth in the comments. Something that I'm trying to like give y'all, I'll say this. If it's been a really hard day with Kathleen and Brad's been gone, he's picked up a 24, 48-hour shift, I'll say, how do y'all do it? Like, please give me some tips on how to like keep yourself sane when your husband's been gone for, 48 to 72 hours. So, I'll say Kathleen is 2 years old and it's just a really big struggle. She's going through terrible twos and it's just really hard. Like, what are some like tips or what is something that y'all suggest? So when they start commenting and somebody says, oh my gosh, I have a 2-year-old, that's when I message them and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you do it? I never say anything about the business, anything about the opportunity, but that's how I get in people's inbox is instead of commenting back and forth on a post, I go straight to their inbox and I don't ever talk about the opportunity. So it's not weird because it's really just genuinely making a friend. I don't ever message people and say, oh my gosh, it's so good to connect with you, because that's awkward. But I just go straight to the question. I'm like, how do you do it? Like, how do you do it? And they'll just message me and then we end up talking. And after like talking and making friends for a couple of days, I'll either add them as a friend or a lot of times they add me as a friend. So gonna be honest, I'm in a non-vaccine group and this girl posted that she had a medical exemption. And so I went to her page and she was from California and she's from Escondido. And I messaged her and I said, oh my gosh, I saw your thing. And I realized I saw your post in the group. I went to go see where you were from. I was going to ask you some questions about it. But I saw you were from Escondido. That's crazy. I was born in California and I was actually born in Escondido. And she was like, oh yeah, I got out of the hood or whatever. And so we just like started talking about California. And we literally had an on and off conversation the entire day about California and all the places I've been in California and how much I love it and miss it. And she ended up adding me as a friend. So instead of going back and forth in the comments, I go straight to their inbox and I'm just like, how do you do it? Oh my gosh, this, that, or the other. I have some notes too. Okay, so you always want to try to get in people's DM because that is going to make it to where they show up on your feed and you show up on their feed. And like I said, I don't ever say anything. Never have I ever said anything about the opportunity or the products to anyone that I've ever met. They've always come to me by truly building relationships. And this is something that Katie said to me one time and it stuck out so much. If you are not going to say it, if there's something that you're like, I don't really know if that makes sense or should I say that? If you wouldn't say that in person to them, then you don't need to be saying it in their inbox. So the reason why I always tell my girls to voice message is because it's not awkward, because you're actually having a conversation with people while you're voice messaging. And then they realize that you're not a fake person, that you're a real person and that you're really trying to have a real conversation. So don't randomly just message people or add people on Facebook. Seriously, the suggested friends is just not a way to meet new people. I have not had very much luck with that at all. And then on your page, you need to make sure you add value to your page and asking questions, getting people to comment back on your stuff. So Kathleen got stuck under the bed today. And I just asked like where all the other like random crazy places that their toddlers get stuck. And they start commenting and you can start having a conversation with those people. So you start building relationships with people that way. Use your stories, use your polls. I do the same thing that Katie does on Instagram, how she messages people in stories. I also add people that way, or not add people, but get in people's direct messages by commenting on their stories. If their kid is wearing like a cute outfit, I'll say like, where did you get that? I'm really looking for some new clothes for Kathleen for spring. I'm so bad at buying clothes. Like I'm really looking for some new boutiques or whatever. If it's a picture of their dog or it's a video of their kid and their dog, like I'll just message and be like, that's so funny. And I'll send them a picture of Kathleen and our dogs because it's cute. It's funny. So I always try to like use pictures, voice messages, and really build relationships when I get in people's direct message. you need to know everything about the people that you are building a relationship with. Basically, like, stalk their pages, guys, because you want to know what they're doing, where they're at, what's going on in their life, if they're married, if they have kids, if they have animals, like, what are the things that are interesting to them, because you want to have something to talk about. If you don't know anything about them, then you're not going to have anything to talk about with those people. So you want to know about their life, because you want to be able to ask them questions and keep conversations going instead of like something being super awkward and then you just not talking again. Hang on, guys. I have like 4 pages of notes, but I'm not going to share it all. Okay, another way that I really build relationships is after I add people out of groups. Hang on, guys. After I here, color on paper. This is real mom life. After I add people to groups, I only try to add like maybe 2 to 5 people every day. Color your paper. Color your paper. 2 to 5 people a day, because I don't like to overwhelm myself with new friends. And if it's someone that I really, really think that I'm going to get along great with and I'm going to really build like a relationship with, I will set them to see first. I will set them to see first. And how you do that is you go to the top where it says follow. You click on that and you hit see first. There's unfollow, like the regular follow, and then see first. So when you put that person on see first, as soon as you get on Facebook, that person pops up. Every single time they're posting on Facebook, their stuff pops up. So you are always, they're always, honey. Hang on, baby. Hang on, guys. Ugh. Here. Get up here and color. Okay, so you go set them to see first. That way, every single time they're on Facebook or they're posting something, you can go and comment on that stuff. I know it sounds like super stalkerish, but it's just a way to build relationships, because we get so many friends on Facebook and we start to like lose people, and the people just get lost in your newsfeed. So I always add people to see first. Another thing that I do is I go to most recent. I don't know how to explain how to get there on this one, but on the bottom left, where you have like, where you can see like your events and all of your other things, there's a little button that says most recent. I click on that and I go through, and I go do this about twice a day. I spend about 15 minutes 2 or 3 times a day. And the people that are just posting on, you know, on Facebook are the people that are going to pop up right then. So you start to see new people that you had no idea that you were even friends with on Facebook. Okay, I think that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
I wanted to piggyback off of what you said real quick, and it was like 10 minutes ago you said it, but you said how when you show up on social media, it doesn't have to be posting every day. And that's the thing, is that I try to show up and post every day. I just got an email about the free shipping. I try to show up on my Facebook and at least post once a day. But you guys, it's not necessary. Like, if you are posting, if in your brain you're like, oh, I haven't posted today, like, let me think or create or copy and paste or, you know, find something to post. Like, if it's not authentic to you, don't post it. Like, you're going to get more engagement and you're going to get more traction and activity on posts that are like genuinely coming from you. So showing up on Facebook, showing up on Instagram every day does not mean making a post, because posting on Facebook is not working your business. Posting is more like the open sign. It's not the inside. It's not the customer service. It's not, the sharing of the products and the sales and the building the relationships. It's just the post. So being active on Facebook and on social media doesn't just mean posting. It means getting in those groups, getting into people's messenger, building relationships, following up, loving on your team, get in your team page, talk to your downline, see if you can help them. There are multiple different ways to show up. You know, I won't ever look at someone's page and be like, oh, they didn't post, they're not working. Like, because you don't know what goes on behind the scenes. People will come to me and they're like, well, you know, you don't post about the products of the business all the time. And I know Kristen doesn't post about the products in the business every single day, but she's behind the scenes working. So a lot of that behind the scenes stuff is building relationships, getting to know people, growing your network, and just being a friend to people. You don't need to be posting to be a friend. You need to actually be building a relationship with them. So did anybody have any questions? I haven't even looked at the chat. Priscilla, I used to find voice messaging so awkward. Like I'm the kind of person who like would go back and watch my live videos and like re-listen to my voice messages, and I'm like, oh my god, I sound like a man. Or like I would watch my own live videos and I was like, geez, Katie, how many times can you say the word Like I would go back and I would criticize myself so bad that I would like paralyze myself to the point where I was scared to go live, and there would be like dry spells where I wouldn't go live for a long time, or I would stop voice messaging because I would critique myself. But I really think that, you know, there's been times where I'll voice message somebody and my kids are in the back screaming and I'm like, sorry, like my kid just stepped on a Lego because they're dumped all over the floor. Like I really wish, like, can you see this? Do you see all those toys? If for those of you on video, like my whole living room is literally like car toys, like all over the place right now. But my kids are in the background playing. We got like cartoons on or music, or if I'm voice messaging or I'm doing a live video and like my daughter's right here playing. It shows that I'm a human, and it shows that you don't need to be perfect to run a business. You don't need to have your shiz together to be successful. You know, I think a lot of entrepreneurs are like in the top rank and they're paying thousands and thousands of dollars, you know, for, you know, what is it called on your eyebrows? I don't know, the eyebrow things, the lash things, the nose things, the cheek thing. I don't even know what it's called. Like, I'm literally not that fancy, but like people are paying so much money to look perfect, right? To have like this perfect lifestyle. And you guys, that is not realistic. I'm sorry. I try to look put together for like my pictures and stuff, but when I go live, 9 times out of 10, this is what I look like. When I'm on a Zoom, 10 times out of 10 when I'm on a Zoom, this is what I look like. This is just me. And I want people to know that I'm normal and that I have anxiety and that I've struggled with depression and that I have 3 kids and that I was a teen mom and I married my high school sweetheart, and things don't always go right. And I'm, you know, sleep deprived, and I've been sleep deprived for 3 years, and my husband is a typical man who does man things that drive me nuts. Like, I just want people to come. I want them to see that part of my life, because the more relatable you are, the more that they're going to feel like they can trust you. I'm not going to go to some high-end, fancy, glamorous Barbie doll and ask her to help me change my life because I don't relate to the dang thing that she stands for, or what I think she stands for, or what she portrays herself to stand for on social media. I'm going to go to Kristen, because Kristen is off on social media with like, the dog crapped on my carpets today, my kid puked in my hair, I didn't sleep, 7 showered in 3 days, but at least I got my Black Label. Like, I relate. So I'm going to message Kristen for things like that. So just remember to be relatable, you guys. Show that you are a human, build those friendships, build those relationships, and just be there for people. And the business is going to follow suit, because you didn't join Lavelle to become Lavelle. And people don't want to be spammed and like sold to. I think, you know, I've gone to people's Facebook profiles or, you know, Instagram, and they're like, you know, don't message me to sell me your stuff, or I'm not interested in selling in buying your stuff. I don't want to join your team. And I think that people put those in their bio because they're so turned off by the way network marketers have become these days, with the spamming and the constant posting and the cold messaging and just the being that we need to be different. And we need to set a new stigma for network marketing that it's not that way, and it doesn't have to be that way. You know, when you're adding people, they're going to come to your page, and you don't want them to see thrive. You want them to go to Brittany's page and say, oh, she's a fire wife. She got dogs and a child, and, you know, Kristen is into you know, boosting women's confidence and empowering women. And I know Michaela's very into like self-development and being a mom. And those are the reasons that people are going to accept their requests or accept their ads on Instagram or follow their page or share their posts, not because they're with Thrive. So it's just really, really important to remember to stay human. But that's all she wrote for me. So Kristen, do you want to?
Hey, Katie, I wanted to give a really quick tip. Something that I heard and I thought it was really, really great, and it's really been helping me is for a long time, for months, I was really struggling with what to post, and I was so lost, and I was like, I just feel like I'm not bringing any value to anybody. So what I started doing is after I've talked to a potential, and you've already built this relationship, because I do not sign people after meeting them for like 1 or 2 days. I want to know that they're serious, because my time is valuable. I am busy. I have a team. I have a toddler. Like, my time is valuable, and I'm not going to waste my time on somebody that doesn't want this as bad as me. So I take the time to really get to know people, and I always ask them questions like, why do you want to do this? What do you want to gain out of this? How much money do you want to make? What are your goals? What is your 6-month goal? What is your 1-year goal? Like, I ask, like, basically, like, interview them before I let them join me, because I want to know that they are really serious. So, we build relationships with those people. And something that I really have been doing lately is, if I'm going to make a post about the business, or I'm going to make a post about like relating to life or anything, I'm going to think about that one person. So there's this one person that I talked to. I got on a Zoom with her, and I know she'd be so great, but she's still stuck in a previous company. And so when I make a post, I literally think about her when I'm writing it out. And I'm like, I know how you feel. I know that, you're stuck where you are, and you want to make a change for your family. You want to do something different, but life gets in the way, and you get caught up with this, and, whatever. I always, when I'm making a post, speaking directly to one person, because that one person is going to be the person that sees it, and it's going to be your next rock star. So if you're just making a post just out there for the world, then you're not really relating to anyone, and you want to be as relatable as you can. And you want that person to come to your page and say, she literally just spoke right to my heart. Like, she literally is speaking to me, because that's literally what you're doing, is speaking to them. And you need to act like you're basically having a conversation with that person as you're typing that out. Or the person that talks about, struggling with confidence on Facebook, type something out to the person that you were a year ago. A year ago, guys, I would have never been on a Zoom. I would have never done a live video. I would have never been confident anywhere without makeup. And now I don't care. So when I talk about the confidence, and I talk about where the struggles that I've been through, I'm thinking of myself the way I used to be. And I'm thinking about the exhausted, struggling, depressed, postpartum depression, anxiety driven mother that I was 14 months ago. And I'm relating all of my posts to how I was then to how I am now, because there are people out there that are depressed, and they have anxiety, and they are exhausted, and they don't know where they're going to go next, or they can't pay their bills. So you want to be speaking exactly to those people, and that's where you're going to start building relationships and really become relatable. Okay, Kristen, do you have anything to say?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think everything you guys said tonight is right on. I mean, you guys, listen, like, just what Brittany was saying with even with the groups and talking to people, and what Katie's talking about getting people into inboxes and getting people to and in these conversations. Like, we're in network marketing. We market to our network. We need to be constantly growing our network. So you guys, take to heart what you're hearing in these trainings, because it really is so important. I mean, what these girls just talked about tonight is how they got to 80K, how they got to 200K. So, and for some of you, you might be thinking like, this seems really uncomfortable, or this seems like I don't know how to do that. Every single one of us has learned the art of conversation, and we have learned the art of, okay, well, let me put it this way. So I actually had a conversation with somebody today. I hate saying like the art of conversation, but there is a little bit of an art to it. But so I was talking to one of my promoters today. We were talking a little bit about, she was talking to somebody about the business, and she felt like she got a little bit stuck today, or got a little bit of ahead of herself. And I said, you know what I do when I'm talking to a potential promoter? I try really hard not to talk about the business. I do my absolute best to find out as much about that person as possible, because when I'm growing a relationship with somebody, the more I know about them, the more I can help them. The more they talk about themselves, the more we're building a relationship with each other, and not just going straight for like the kill of the business. So, when you guys are talking to people, believe it or not, it seems counterproductive and it seems weird, but the more you can actually have conversations with people about their life and what they're about, the better chance you have of those people becoming customers and a better chance you have of people becoming promoters, because you're actually developing a real friendship with them. Most people in network marketing or in these different online businesses, they're going for the kill right away. Like they're looking for like instant gratification. How do they make the sale? How do they do this? How do they do that? Well, if we can be the difference, like Katie said, if we can do things differently than other people, then we're going to actually have something really special and something really long lasting. So, take to heart what you guys are hearing and what you've been hearing over the last few weeks with us talking. I mean, you're going to hear every single week, we're going to be talking to you guys about these different aspects of branding yourself, about, building your network and about being authentic to yourself. And the reason we drive these things home is because this is how we've grown in our business. And if you do these things, if you slow down a little bit and you really stay authentic to yourself and you really take the time to get to know people and make people see that you care about them and not just about a sale, your business is going to explode. You're going to have a really long lasting situation versus people who are just always going for that instant gratification. So you're going to make, it might sometimes seem counterproductive to not talk about the business, but you're going to do yourself more of a favor taking that time and waiting for the right moment, because you actually have built up a trust and a rapport and a friendship there. So just kind of wanted to add that in.
Also too, just to kind of go off of that as well, is that you guys, when you have a friendship with somebody, here's the thing: if they join your business with you, and now there's always going to be those random people who are like, sure, I'll do it and sign up, right? Like I've had a few of those who couldn't pick them apart in a crowd of who they were, and they were like, I want to sign up. You're going to have that sometimes. It happens. But when you have an actual relationship with somebody, when you have a true friendship with them, it's hard for them to actually walk away. So if I were in this business and I had no friends and I didn't know Kristen that well and I signed up with her on a whim and I didn't have any sideline friends and I got discouraged or I had a slow season, it would be so easy for me to throw in the towel. So easy. I have no reason to stay. I got no friends. Like there's nothing keeping me here, right? But the fact that I do have friendships with Michaela and Kristen and Jackie and Brittany and Carly and Stevie and Megan, and I can keep going when I do have those moments, because even I have them, when I do have those moments where I'm like, oh, I don't want to work my business today, or, oh, this person fell through, or, oh, like it's just so stressful. I'm not walking away because I have so many friendships here, and because there's value in this business for me. Just aside from like the monetary value of the money, there's value in the friendships that I hold with these women. So it's a lot easier to walk away when you have no relationship. So that's why it's so important to build a relationship with the promoters that are on your team. That way, God forbid anything comes up where they're like, hey, I'm struggling. You can help address it as their friend, not just their leader, but as their friend. And you can come down to them on a personal level and you can talk to them and you can help them through it versus them being like, well, I don't have any help and I'm not friends with my upline, so peace, right? So building relationships, it just has so many different like forms of value to it. So I'm good if you're good, Brittany. She's walking around the house.
Sorry. Yep, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I thank you guys then for hopping on. I hope you got some kind of value out of this. I hope that you had fun or learned something, or if nothing, you just kind of got the same things that you already know confirmed into your brain. So I love you guys. Happy Sunday. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye, guys.